Hi, welcome to my first video. I struggle a bit with what to make this video about, because there's so much going on in my life right now that I wanted to talk about on this channel. But today I happen to have an appointment with my retinal specialist, so I figured I would talk about that. I have FEVR, familial exudative vitreoretinopathy. It's a rare progressive eye disease. You're born with it, or you're not born with it. It doesn't show up out of nowhere. Have had it, well, I've been diagnosed with it for a while, was misdiagnosed for a while before that. And today I had an appointment to get an intraocular injection of something called Eylea. It's the name of the medicine they gave me. And this is because I have macular edema in my left eye that's been going on for a while. This means that there is fluid collecting between the layers of the retina in the center of my vision in my left eye that's affecting my ability to see and do things. So we're trying to fix it. We've tried a few different things at this point. We've tried non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drops, or NSAIDs, and then found out that I can't take those. We tried steroid drops and pressure drops to combat the pressure spike that the steroid drops caused, and neither of those worked well enough. And so we switched to injections of Lucentis, and now we're doing injections of Eylea. Unfortunately, while we had moved up to 6 to 7 weeks and we're planning to move on to 8 weeks, hopefully spacing it out further and further between each injection until eventually I don't need them anymore, instead we have had to drop back down to 4 weeks, which is a bit disheartening, to say the least, between injections. And even so, last time and this time, he said the macular edema was a little bit worse than the last pictures that we took. So that's not very reassuring, and I'm having to do some serious thinking about what I want to do now. But all of that aside, I guess that's what I'm going to talk about is fever. So familial means that it's genetic. It means it runs in the family, and my kids have a chance of having it, and I got it because my dad has it. Exudative means that it relates to fluid leaking from the circulatory system into areas of inflammation. Vitreo means it has to do with the vitreous, which is the stuff inside your eye. And retinopathy means that it's a disease of the retina. So it's not actually spelled the way you typically spell the word fever. It's missing an E. It's FEVR. And it's a very rare disease that I've been told, which is probably why I have to travel 2 hours just to see my doctor. But all in all, the appointment went well today. The injection went fine. No complications there. They didn't see anything else to be concerned about. So that's good. For a really long time, the only differential for fever was that it looks like retinopathy of prematurity, which is a disease of the retina that shows up when you're born prematurely. And it didn't show up in people born premature. And so for a really long time, because I was born premature, I was misdiagnosed with ROP until my younger brother was born full term and had eye issues. And my dad was misdiagnosed. And so then it wasn't until he was born that we got diagnosed. And then because it happened so late, we had to get a whole bunch of laser surgeries all at once. And then everything's been fine for a few years. And then the macular edema started, and I've been dealing with that. Most of my siblings, though, are stable, which is awesome. It's not the only thing I'm going to be talking about on this channel, but it seemed the logical first thing to talk about since I have stuff happening right now that relates to it. So what I normally do for these appointments is I usually have to get up semi-early because we have to leave early because it's a drive. And what I normally do for the appointments is I try to remind myself that the injection's not going to hurt. They numb it all up beforehand. And I bring my cane with me to let people know that I'm visually impaired or that I might not see them. And I usually bring books with me because the appointment can last anywhere from 45 minutes to a couple of hours. And then the drive is also a couple of hours there and a couple of hours back. So that was my day today, and what I did today. Pretty much the only thing I do on appointment days with my retinal specialist because it is so far. That's what fever is, and living with fever means living with the potentiality that I could go blind. And people always ask me, isn't that scary? Aren't you afraid? But I've been thinking about this since I first got diagnosed, and that was over 10 years ago. So you kind of get used to the idea of the potential of maybe losing something that you have that you've taken for granted your whole life, and you kind of learn to maybe take it a little less for granted. People always say it's amazing that I do this, that, or the other with the eye problems that I have, but relatively speaking, my eye problems aren't that bad yet. So, I don't know. Thank you, I guess. I don't know how to respond to that other than saying thank you, because that's the nice thing to say, and it makes me feel proud of myself and what I have accomplished. And I guess that's more important to think about that than think about the things I haven't accomplished, because my vision is not so great. These are my glasses. As you can see, they're pretty thick compared to most people's glasses. That's because my vision is 20/30 at best. And that's with my glasses. Without my glasses, I don't know what it is. I haven't asked. So that's that. I guess I'm not sure what else to talk about in this video. So, sayonara. See you later.